सदस्य भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, सावेद भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled. All glories to the assembled. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Rajan Tvaya Anuprishtanam Suhridam Nak Suhritpure Vipra Shapa Vimudhanam Nignatam Mushtipir Mita Varunim Madiram Pitva Mada Unmatita Chetasa Ajanata Iva Anyonyam Chatu Pancha Avasheshita Rajang Stvayanu Prishtanam Suhridang Nak Suhrit Pure Viprashapa Vimudhanam Nignatam Mushtibhimita Varunim Madiram Pidva Madon Matita Chetasam Ajanatami Vanyonyam Chatuk Panchavasheshita Rajang Stvayanu Prishtanam Suhridang Nak Suhrit Pure Viprashapa Vimudhanam.
That's all. No, what meaning?
Rajan, O King, Tvaya, by you, Anuprishtanam, as you inquired, Suhridam, of friends and relatives, Naha, our, Suhrit Pure, in the city of Dwaraka, Vipra, the Brahmanas, Shapa, by the curse of, Vimudhanam, of the befooled, Niknatam, of the killed, Mushtipi, with bunches of sticks, Mitaha, among themselves, Varunim, fermented rice, Madiram, wine, Pitwa, having drunk, Madon Matita, being intoxicated, Chetasam, of that mental situation, Ajanatam, of the unrecognized, Iva, like, Anyonyam, one another, Chatu, four, Pancha, five, Avasheshita, now remaining. Translation. O King, since you have asked me about our friends and relatives in the city of Dwaraka, I will inform you that all of them were cursed by the Brahmanas, and as a result, they all became intoxicated with wine made of purified rice, and fought among themselves with sticks, not even recognizing one another. Now, all but 4 or 5 of them are dead and gone.
I think this editing was wrong, purified rice. What is called? Fermented, petrified, putrefied. Saying it's a putrefied, it has been purified. Editing. Yes, rice there in India is still because in India still no gentleman, Brahman, at least Brahmanas, those who are strictly following Brahmana principles, they do not drink. Neither the Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas, they are allowed to drink in some particular function. That is also very rarely. And Vaishyas, they do not drink. Shudras, some of them. Those who are less than Shudras, they drink. And they make their own liquor at home. They boil the rice and with water they keep it for a few days, it becomes fermented, putrefied, and it becomes intoxicating. Homemade liquor. And if you distill it, then it becomes first class brandy. So, it is not that liquor drinking was not existing, there was. But who drank? That is stated here, that viprasapa vimurana. Those who are cursed, vimurana, and being cursed, they were bewildered. Viprasapa. The story is that Jaduvamsa, the dynasty of Krishna had 16,108 wives, and each wife had 10 sons, and each son had another 10 sons. In this way, the whole family was composed of hundreds and thousands of men, Jadu dynasty. And when Krishna came, so to assist him, all these demigods, they came to help him, Leela. Just like if you play something dramatic, you require so many assistants. So when Krishna comes, those who are devotees of Krishna, they also come to assist him. Somebody becomes his father, somebody his mother, somebody his friend, somebody his wife, somebody his son, some grandson, like that. So when Krishna wanted to depart from this planet, he wanted to take away all others also along with him. So these are simply material, external causes. Actual fact is, Krishna, as he went away, he wanted to take all the associates under different pleas. So it is explained in the Bhagavatam that the queens, they are not actually, nobody can touch them. Just like Sita was kidnapped by Ravan. Now, how it is possible that Sita can be kidnapped by a demon? No. That is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lord Chaitanya, he was a guest of a Brahmin in South India. So he took his bath and came to the house of that Brahmana. But the Brahmana did not arrange for any cooking even. There is no food. He was very sorry. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired, Brahmana, you invited me, but I don't see even you have cooked. What is the reason? Yes, I am going to cook immediately. Thing is, I am very sorry that Ravana, the demon, has taken away Sita, and I could not rescue her still. Oh, why shall I eat? I shall die. He was in the ecstasy of Hanuman, a devotee. He was thinking like Hanuman. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very much like that he is in devotion and in ecstasy of Hanuman. He is thinking like that. So at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, so don't be sorry. The Sita Lakshmi ji, she cannot be touched by Ravan. It was Maya Sita. Maya Sita. I'll tell you, I will give you evidence from the Shastra. So Brahmana believed him because he said, oh, it is that? Sita was not taken? In Maya Sita was taken? Yes. Then he became encouraged. He cooked and sufficiently gave him food. So, by chance, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was touring in South India, the Puran, Shiva Puran or something like that, it is stated there. And he brought the evidence again, that here you see in the Puran it is said that when Ravan came to kidnap Sita, immediately a false Sita was given to him. And the real Sita disappeared. Then again, when Lord Ramchandra, after killing Ravana, he was accepting Sita back to home, he tasted with fire. And Sita, you should enter the fire, and if you are not burnt, then you are chaste. Otherwise you are not chaste. Yes? So, the false Sita, which was taken by Ravana, she entered the fire and the real Sita came out. This is the statement in the Shastra. So, things take place like that. The queens of Krishna, they could not be touched, but it is a play only. Similarly, Jadu dynasty, the descendants of Krishna, they also could not be killed. But just like Krishna was killed by the arrow of a hunter, how Krishna can be killed? But it is for the person, for the demons to demonstrate like that, who thinks Krishna as ordinary human being. So, for them, it is a jugglery. They will still know that here your Krishna is killed. Yeah, they will say like that. Tanahang disata kuran chipami ajasra andhajunis. These demons, as they want to forget Krishna, they do not like to understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna plays something like that so that they will be more convinced that Krishna is not God, Krishna is ordinary human being. Tanahang disata kuran kheva. They will remain in darkness forever. Krishna gives chance to everyone. If you want to forget Krishna, Krishna will give you such intelligence. He will talk so intelligently that Krishna is not God. Jijathamang prapadante. And if you want to know Krishna, then he will give you such intelligence, he will know that here is Supreme Personality of God. This is Krishna. If you want to forget Krishna, Krishna will give you chance to forget him forever. And you suffer. Because forgetting Krishna, one is not benefited. By knowing Krishna is one benefited. But the demons, Rakshasas, they suffer and still they want to forget Krishna. This is their business. So now, the most important thing is that Krishna made this plan to kill his descendants. He did not like that they should be. But who will kill them? That is the problem. They are descendants of Krishna. Who will kill them? Therefore it was Krishna's plan that they will kill themselves. If others come to kill Krishna's descendant, then what is the value of Krishna's descendant? Nobody could kill, because in the Krishna's presence, whenever there was fight, all the descendants, they came out and we'll conquer them. Nobody. That is not possible. But Krishna wanted that before he is going away, all these demigods, they must also return. And return means this body must be killed, but we'll kill them. That is the plan of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, Riddhesha Arjuna Tishthat. He is planning. He made this plan. So what is that? One of them made a false pregnancy with a stone on the belly, wrapped with cloth, and another boy or another man, he went to a rishi that, sir, can you tell what is the womb of this, what is the child in the womb of this woman? She is not woman, she is man. So the saintly person could understand that these people have come to joke me. So he immediately cursed Vipra that yes, what is there in the womb, that will be the cause of destroying your whole family. So when they are cursed, they come to a senses, what you have done? So actually it was a stone. So they began to rub this stone so that there will be no existence of this stone. As rubbing, that pulp and water, that was distributed and all of them become sticks. So then after that they become intoxicated and they could not understand amongst themselves who is friend, who is enemy, and took those sticks and began to beat one another. In this way they died. This is the story. You know, this is stated in the Krishna book. So, our point is to know, this is a play only, background. Actually Krishna wanted to take them away and nobody could kill them. Therefore he planned a killing plan among themselves. This is the fact. But we should know that viprasapa vimurana, if any person is cursed by Vipra, Brahmana, Vaishnava, then they are finished. Therefore, according to the Vedic civilization, Brahmanas and Vaishnavas were always honored so that they may not be dissatisfied. This is the rule. Brahmana and Vaishnava, the devotees and the Brahmana. Vidupatat bhaved vipra brahma janati iti Brahmana. Those who are spiritually advanced, such persons should not be offended. Then you are finished. According to our philosophy, Vaishnava aparat, just we are talking in our walking, that a great yogi, what is the name? Durvasa. Durvasa Muni offended Vaishnava. And immediately Sudarshan Chakra came to kill Durvasa. Vaishnava aparad is never tolerated by Krishna. Just like the Pandavas, they are Vaishnavas. And the Duryodhana and company, they were so-called Vaishnava, actually they are not Vaishnava. So they insulted, they put to trouble so many ways. They banished them in the jungle, they insulted their wife in so many ways by creek. So Krishna could not tolerate that. Therefore the battle of Kurukshetra. So Vaishnava is kind. Arjuna, he said, my dear Krishna, whatever they have done, that doesn't matter. I cannot kill my family man. Please excuse me. Just see, Arjuna is kind because he is Vaishnava. But Krishna cannot tolerate. Krishna said, you must kill them. That is my order. You must kill them. Then he argued with Krishna in so many ways. There will be so much sin, there will be this, this, that. Then he preached Bhagavad Gita, and at last he said that Arjuna, you are thinking that you shall be, by not fighting, you shall be able to save your family man, kinsman. That is not possible. That is not possible. They are already killed. It is not my plan. They will never return home. If you kill them, then you take the credit, but otherwise they are already killed. And if you think that you will not kill them, they will be saved, that is not possible. That is not possible. Then Arjuna understood that it is the determination of Krishna that they must be killed. Then why shall I disobey his order? It is my business to serve him. Yes, then I shall kill, if you have to decide. So, this is the fact that Krishna will never tolerate insult on a devotee. He will never tolerate. The devotee may excuse. Tinadapi sunechena tarorapi saisana. He may suffer, just like Prahlad Maharaj. He was suffering. His father was torturing him. He was suffering, all right. But Krishna never tolerated. Oh, you have done so much. Now it is your time to kill you. This is the process. Krishna will tolerate, even if you insult Krishna, he will tolerate. But if you insult his devotee, he will never tolerate. Then you are finished. Then you are finished. Just like a big man. If you insult him, he may think not like it. But if you insult or do something harm to his child, he will never tolerate. He will never tolerate. Similarly, a devotee who is dependent on Krishna and everything, and if somebody does harm to him, insults him, Krishna will never tolerate. That is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vaishnava aparad, karmadde Vaishnava aparada, hati mata. So we should be very careful not to offend Vaishnava devotees. Not to offend. This is greatest offense. Therefore it is said, Viprasapa, Vimurana. Vimurana, those are rascal fools. They want to try to insult real Brahmana Vaishnava. Then they are finished. Of course, Vaishnava never curses. Tolerant. Tinadapi sunechena. Vaishnava tolerates, but Vishnu never tolerates. Viprasavad vimurana nignata mushtibhi mitha. Being intoxicated. The other point is intoxication. We are already intoxicated. Being under the influence of Maya, the material energy, we are already forgotten about self. Whereas nobody knows that he is not this body. This is another intoxication. He is not this body, this is a fact. But go to the outside of this temple, ask anybody what you are. Yes, I am this body. They are already intoxicated. So, again if you drink, then how much intoxicated you become? You just try to understand. Varuni mudirang pitya madana modhita chetasa. Everyone who is in this material world, forgotten God or Krishna, he is already intoxicated. Just like intoxicated man, he cannot recognize even his father and mother, or even his sister or mother. It has been practical. One father intoxicated, there are so many instances. Raped the daughter. Daughter is crying, my dear father, I'm who cares for that? Intoxicated. You see? This is going on. So intoxication is so sinful. Intoxication is so sinful that just as the hog is intoxicated by this material world, eating stool is a food, but he is tasting very nice and is deriving benefit, sexually very strong, never cares whether mother, sister or daughter. Every example is there in front. So by intoxication, we have to get out of this intoxicated condition of life, which is called Maya. Instead of getting out of this intoxicated life, if we more increase our intoxication, big signboard, beef eaters and this whiskey, this, then how much we are degrading the whole population. We have to imagine, you see. People are already in forgetfulness. And the government, the society, and they are still giving impetus. You forget more, you forget more. Then he doesn't know. Visatang tamisram. Adanta gobhi visatang tamisram. And they do not know that I'll have to take next birth. And according to my mentality, because I'm infecting a certain type of material qualities, in that way I am creating my next body. That he does not know. This is due to intoxication. He is thinking that I enjoy my life in this way forever, but he does not know that he is creating the mentality, and according to the mentality, hog's mentality, he will become next life a pig, and he will eat. He has to by force. Not by force, he will relish it. Maya, this is called Avararatmika Shakti, covering influence. The pig is eating stool, but he is very much satisfied. Such a nice food. He is having intercourse with his daughter or sister or mother, he is enjoying. So the hellish condition. So we create our hellish condition. Where from the hog come? The hog comes also, is also living entity. By process of transmigration of the soul, one is accepting, sometimes as a hog, sometimes a dog, sometimes a demigod, sometimes a rich man, sometimes a poor man, sometimes a tree. That they do not know. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ei rupe brahmanda bhramite kono bhagwan ji. We are spoiling our time in this way, transmigrating from one type of body to another, and there are 8,400,000 types of body. So, in the human form of life, if one is actually fortunate, then Guru Krishna Kripa Pai Bhakti Lata Bhij. By the mercy of Guru and by the mercy of Krishna, one gets the opportunity of understanding Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, they are entrapped by his Maya, intoxication, and wandering throughout the whole universe and different types of body. So this is called Varmaning Mudirang Pitya Madanamotito Chidasam Ajanata. Ajanata, without any knowledge. We are fighting one another without any knowledge. Why the Americans were fighting with Arabians, the Arabians are fighting. The fighting is going on. The United Nations means fighting settlement arena, that's all. But the fighting is going on. So, unless we are self-realized, unless we know that we are all sons of God, this outward dress is Maya. I am not American, I am not Indian. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nang Vippa Nachanarapati Najutidba. He says like that. That he is taking the Varnasam Dharma, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu denied all these. Now I am not Brahmin, now I am Shudra, now I am Grihastha, now I am Kshatriya. Then what you are? Gopi Vattuk Padakamalayo, Daso Dasan Daso. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna who provides the gopis. This is our real identification. So, without understanding our real identification, if we remain intoxicated and wander within this wonderful universe, you cannot leave. It is not that because you have settled up. Now I am American or Indian. Let me live here comfortably. I have got very good arrangement. But you will not be allowed to leave, sir. You must have to change. You may make very good arrangement that who is allowing to stay here. He will not be allowed to stay here. But they do not know. Intoxicated. Because intoxicated. Everyone is thinking that I shall stay forever. Let there be very big iron skyscraper building and will be able to stay. But because intoxicated, he cannot understand that he will not be allowed to stay. You may simply spoil your energy, that's all. The energy which was given to you to understand God, you are spoiling that energy in skyscraper building, but you will not be allowed to stay. This is nature's law. But the rascals, they do not know because they are intoxicated already by the nature's law, Maya, and they are still being intoxicated. More drink liquor, and go to hell. Thank you very much.
पाश्चात्य देश धारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Such a nice class by Srila Prabhupada, no? When the class was going on, I was thinking that we devotees are so fortunate that we have such easy access to Srila Prabhupada's Vani. Why? Because back in 80s and 90s, it was not the case. What used to happen was once in a while, devotees used to get a message from the temple. We have received 2 new lectures of Srila Prabhupada. Those who want to copy the contents can bring their floppy disk or CD. And devotees used to run like that. So nowadays, because it's easily available, we people sometimes may take it for granted. So this is what happens when we become too familiar. Material familiarity breeds contempt. Spiritual familiarity breeds love. So we should be careful. Familiarity doesn't always lead to contempt. Material familiarity leads to contempt. Spiritual familiarity breeds love. A very good example of spiritual familiarity is the Shad Goswamis of Vrindavan. They used to stay very close to each other in Vrindavan, but because they were doing Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natibhi Kala Vasani Krito, because they were busy chanting the names of Krishna, calling out Krishna, He Radhe Vraj Devi Ke Chalalite, He Nanda Shuno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalapa Pada Patale, Kalindi Vanye Kuta, Ghoshantaviti Sarvato Vrajapure, Kheder Mahavihavalo, Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo, Shri Jiva Gopalako. So yesterday, Bhaktivedanta Manor was talking about Shad Goswami has to come now. So since then, it's there on my mind. So yes, because they were spiritually familiar, they had love. So yes, we need to be a bit careful. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, because of his service, he had to sometimes read some karmi books by some karmi authors, I think something related to leadership or management. But what he used to do, for every 1 hour of reading of that karmi book, he used to read 18 hours of Prabhupada books. So 1:18 was his ratio. And he did that on purpose to make sure that he doesn't minimize the importance of Prabhupada books. So the conviction with which Srila Prabhupada can speak, who can speak like that? So yes. So a very wonderful class. The translation is, O king, since you have asked me about, who is the king here? King Parikshit, right? Yes, no? No. Yudhishthir. So this was not being spoken by Shukadeva Goswami. This is being spoken by Arjun. And the king is Yudhishthir. So Prabhupada started his class by talking about liquor, how alcohol or liquor in Brahmanas didn't used to take, Kshatriya used to take a bit. Vaishyas again, no intoxicants. Shudras, some of them. Actually, liquor was, intoxicants were taken by those who were less than Shudras. Once, during my uni days, we were told by our seniors to go and preach to a college, which was not so good. The students were not so cultured in that city. So we went, and we were telling them, we should follow the 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxicants. The students were like, no intoxicants? We grow intoxicants in our room. They took us in the room, there were plants of opium, this, that, I don't know, but yeah. So, then, and then Prabhupada was telling, he was quoting the verse, Bhagavad Gita 16.19, Tanaham dushita kruran, those who are dushataha, those who are envious, and those who are kruran, mischievous, they cannot understand Krishna. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. That the way we approach Krishna, Krishna also reciprocates accordingly. Prabhupada was telling, if someone wants to know Krishna, then Krishna will make sure that he remembers, he knows that here is the personality of Godhead. But if somebody wants to forget Krishna, then he will give them a chance to forget him forever. And as a result, that person will suffer. Then Prabhupada was talking about the history of the Yaduvansha, how the kids, they had made fun of a rishi. And then Prabhupada was talking about how Vaishnava Prad is very detrimental for our devotional service. So we should not insult others, we should not make fun of Vaishnavas. If we make fun of Vaishnavas, very soon our life will become very funny. You know? If we make fun of Vaishnavas, our life will become a comedy we never asked for. So, yeah. And this is our philosophy actually. Our philosophy is a philosophy of appreciation. Our philosophy is not a philosophy of insult, you know. Some people think I'm a stud kirtaniya, some think I'm a stud preacher, some think I'm a stud shloka reciter, and some think I'm a stud insulter. I insult people in a way that it takes 5 minutes for them to understand what exactly the slang was, you know. So, very inappropriate. In Krishna book, how many of you have read this statement in Krishna book? Oh, you are singing and dancing very nicely. How many of you have read this? Yes, it is there, right? How many of you have read this in Krishna book? Well done. Krishna is telling the gopis or his friends, right? And how many of you have read this in Krishna book? Oh, you stupid fellow. Oh, you son of this. No, right? Because this is not our philosophy. Our philosophy is a philosophy of appreciation. So, yeah. It's 8:30, I'll stop here. I could have spoken more on intoxication and other topics, but yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Upasthit Bhaktivinoda ki, Gaur Premanande.